Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into a really gripping personal story.
Yeah, it's quite something. We've got this first-hand account from a dive in the Azure Grotto.
And our goal, really, is to unpack that incredibly fast shift,
Yeah,
from awe to, well, absolute terror during an underwater emergency.
exactly. Our source is this written piece, and it really pulls you into Maya and Ben's initial exploration.
Right, sets the scene first.
Totally. It starts off describing this stunning place. Imagine like a breathtaking gallery of stalactites.
Wow.
Yeah, and frozen waterfalls, these really intricate formations, even mentions helictites. Those are the sort of twisty spiral ones, almost look like they defy gravity.
So visually incredible, crystal clear water.
Crystal clear. Their dive lights are cutting through it. They're following their guideline. Everything seems perfect. Ben even gives this big enthusiastic thumbs up.
Okay, so picture perfect, serene exploration.
Exactly. You get the picture.
So let's pivot then. The narrative describes
Yeah.
this shift. How does it start?
It starts with sound, or rather, feeling. A sudden, low rumble that Maya actually feels in her chest.
Uh-huh, like a vibration through the water.
Precisely. And then almost instantly, that beautiful clear water just disappears. It turns into what the account called a suffocating brown cloud.
Like silt getting kicked up. Massively.
Massively. The description is thick, opaque soup. Just imagine that 1 second beauty, the next, you're blind in thick brown muck.
That loss of visibility underwater.
Yeah.
It's hard to even comprehend how disorienting that must be.
It's a total sensory nightmare. That rumble points to something big happening, maybe a collapse or a surge. And opaque soup, I mean, that perfectly captures the feeling, helplessness.
And Maya's reaction. What does the account say she does immediately?
It's a pure instinct. She tightens her grip on the guideline instantly. Her knuckles are described as white, heart-hammering.
The guideline becomes everything.
Absolutely everything. And she tries to find Ben, sweeping her light, tapping it. That was their agreed signal, right? For, are you okay?
The taps.
Yeah, but nothing. No answering light, no tap back through the swirling sediment, just nothing.
Oh, man. The dread must have kicked in immediately.
You have to assume so. I mean, training is crucial. Holding that line is textbook. But when your buddy just vanishes visually and doesn't respond,
That shared safety net is just gone.
completely gone. And the description of the environment itself, it's intense.
Tell me.
Oppressive darkness, even with the light beam barely cutting through the silt. The only sound is her own regulator, probably sounding incredibly loud now.
Amplified by the silence in the situation.
And moving along the guideline is suddenly hard work. The silt makes it difficult clinging. Every movement feels exhausting. Every inch felt like a mile, the account says.
Wow. And calling out is useless underwater, obviously.
Totally useless. Swallowed by the water, the rock, just adding to that sense of isolation.
You mentioned the light beam barely cutting through.
Hmm.
Does she see anything? Does the silt settle at all?
It seems to settle a bit, but not enough to help. It just offers these fleeting, ghostly glimpses. No real sense of direction, no comfort.
Ghostly glimpses. That sounds almost worse. Not reassuring at all.
Probably not. And still, crucially, no sign of Ben's light. No tug on the guideline, nothing to indicate he's okay or even nearby.
So the fear is building. Does panic set in?
It does. The narrative describes it vividly, a cold and insidious tendril of panic starting to creep in.
That's a powerful description.
It really is. And then the practical terror hits. She checks her pressure gauge.
Air supply. Critical.
And it's dropping, maybe faster than she expected, maybe the stress is increasing her breathing rate, but the realization hits hard. Dwindling air, totally alone, and lost in what feels like a treacherous underwater labyrinth.
Oh, wow. The place itself has turned against her in her mind.
Completely. That beautiful grotto she entered, it's now perceived as a terrifying, inescapable trap.
A total mental shift.
Uh-huh. The text says, every shadow seemed to hold a threat. The wonder is gone. It's purely about survival now.
The fight for survival had begun.
Eh.
Against odds that feel overwhelming, I imagine.
You got it. The beauty has become the backdrop to a nightmare.
So, just recapping here. We've gone from this breathtaking underwater gallery to a sudden, blinding, life-threatening situation. Triggered by one unforeseen event.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it? How quickly things can change, how fragile even well-prepared explorations are.
Absolutely. And the key takeaway feels like, well, it's the sheer psychological power of disorientation and isolation.
Definitely. Even with training, a buddy, Everything planned, something unexpected can just flip the script instantly. That dream dive becomes a desperate situation.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?